you get laid off. You essentially have no job at this point in time, but you have an idea based off of the book that your wife Ray had read, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now you
Yeah.
have this philosophy and this direction that you're thinking about heading. What were some of the first things that you did to actually acquire that property and that duplex? I feel like a lot of the people, including myself, listening to the show, oftentimes, you know, the plan, the direction can make sense, but we get stuck, or at least I feel stuck, of knowing what that next step is and what do I do from there? What did you do to
Sure.
actually get started?
So, I think the most important things of how to get started from our story, which other people can duplicate, are that we were saving up as much money as possible, which wasn't actually that much, but we saved up as much as we could. You had to get our financial house in order. So, have a basic budget or spending plan if you don't like the word budget. Um, and get some stability in that regard. And I did actually end up getting hired back. So so I wasn't an unemployed person then trying
Mm.
to qualify for a real estate loan. After all that happened, I got hired back, and so there's not a gap on my resume, but I got a literal pink slip getting laid off from teaching, and they were like, don't cry too much. It's going to be okay. Go get a math certificate. We'll try to hire you back later. And they did. They hired me back later, but it was never the same
Mm.
because my mindset has changed. And you talk about mindset in your content, which is major. That's super important. Um, but to answer your question, we got our basic financial house in order, and then read a bunch of really good books that I'll happily share with you, and then we put together a team. Right? You don't go through something like this in life trying to start a business or become an investor or do anything of significance without help. You don't do these things alone. And so the most important thing that we did was we put together our financial team, which for us ended up being, an incredible local realtor who was one of our most important professional relationships in life. And that's what inspires me to hopefully do just that for others. And a great local mortgage broker to give us financial advice along the way. We uh, got in touch with, oh my gosh, a handful of people, a great accountant, right? If you're going to follow in my footsteps, you need a great realtor, a great lender, a great CPA. I mean, this is the financial team getting your all stars, your MVPs together, connecting with some great fix it people to help you because you can't DIY everything, nor should you.
Mm.
And then some other key people that are, trusted advisors on your team. It's good to have a lawyer when things go wrong, and hopefully you don't need them that much. But then you also need them when things go right to put together trusts and LLCs and stuff like that, and give you advice. And some other people along the way. Get connected with great property managers in case you need them, and put together a team. You don't do this kind of stuff alone. And so that's what's fun for me is I get to be a part of people's teams such as yourself.
Yeah. And I appreciate you being a part of my team. And so it sounds like, just to recap that, step one, getting your financials in order, putting aside, what does that look like? Putting aside X amount of dollars or into a bucket that's essentially dedicated towards real estate investing. Is that what that looks like?
Definitely. Yeah. However you want to phrase it. Buckets are great. My wife loves to call the investing accounts that we're slowly putting funds into and then, waiting for a great opportunity. She calls it the money cat. It's like
Money cat.
it's there so that you can, pet it good night and it'll purr and eventually it'll buy a rental property, that kind of thing.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but but yeah, getting your getting your basics in order because you don't go out of order, right? And I'm
Mm.
quoting a mentor of mine by saying that money has a sequence. I did not invent that phrase, but you don't go from having credit card debt in one day to the next day buying a rental property, right? You figure out what the sequence is, you get a budget going, you pay down your consumer debt, you talk to these other great team members, your realtor, your lender, your tax professional, get their advice about how to improve your credit score, what kind of things to do to get ready for, having a down payment and some closing costs, see what the market is actually like in your local area so that you can be an informed consumer and take action in it.
So thank you for that. Never heard the analogy, the money cat. That's amazing. And so so financials in order, get together a great team, and super quickly, just to put that
Yeah,
quick that team together. How did you do that? Did you know people that
I'm
in the
I'm
area?
so
Did you
glad you're asking that, Colin.
you're
so
resourceful or what?
So we're gonna go take a deviation a little bit from our story, because you found me on YouTube, right? I mean, I was a
Yeah.
talking head on YouTube, and and even though some amazing people have found my team and myself on YouTube, and we get to connect with them and get to do great things together, my advice would be to get word of mouth referrals. And
Mm.
that was how we put our team together. I was a public school teacher. I started asking around in the school,
Yeah.
talking to
Community.
colleagues and staff members. Hey, who's a great real estate agent? I need to know who I should talk to, who I can trust, to serve me well, serve us with integrity and knowledge and expertise. um, Anyone can advertise online and say that they're number one. I mean, it's practically a cliche in the industry that as soon as you get your license, they give you a pin that says number one, because everyone's number one at doing something. But I
Yeah.
think word of mouth referral is absolutely the best way to put your team together. Talk to other people that you know, like, and trust, and ask them who they know, like, and trust,
Mm.
so that you don't have to just go interview 20 people and see who happened to have the best billboard advertisement or something, right? Like, let's do this a much better way. I'm all about working by referral.
It reminds me of the analogy or philosophy, who, not how, right? And so then just thinking who in your network that you know, like, and trust, and then exactly word of mouth network marketing, being and being
Yeah,
resourceful, and being involved with that community that you have already built and are a part of, to see who knows who.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And in this case, we're talking obviously about real estate and real estate investing. And I got to tell you, I mean, the best real estate agents that I know, the best lenders that I know, they're not the ones who are advertising all over the place. They don't need to,
Mm,
right? Their
mm.
clients are their own megaphones in the marketplace. That's how you find people who are really just going to be all stars, that are going to spend all of their time working for you, as opposed to all of their time trying to get business for themselves. That's a very different way to spend your time.